Welcome to the Brightstar Lifestyle Podcast, where we say yes to joy. Brightstar Lifestyle is in the business of improving life, equipping people with knowledge and skills. We specialize in personal development and guide people and organizations through a life-changing journey. Enjoy! Today we are talking to Danièle Gradwell. She leads the Pregnancy Help Network. It's a network of pregnancy help organizations with members in South Africa and in Zimbabwe. There's about 57 in total. She supports them with training, resources, and conferences. She's married to Mike for 40 years now, and she has 3 children and 6 grandchildren. Welcome, Danièle.
Thank you, Amanda. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Fantastic. This morning, I want to ask you, what is the heart of the Pregnancy Help Network that you lead?
Okay, so Amanda, there's not a quick answer to that, but I'm going to try my best to put it into a short paragraph of what a pregnancy help, what the heart of the Pregnancy Help Network is. So the pregnancy organizations themselves function as a safe place for those who are facing an unplanned or unexpected pregnancy, and it feels like a crisis or it is a crisis. So the pregnancy help organizations will help the clients talk about the circumstances that are leading to them being in the crisis. They will explore different options that this person is faced with, and just to send the message that they are not alone, that they have somebody to walk the road with them. So many times the clients are in crisis. They're facing challenging circumstances. So it leads to a crisis of decision-making. And often they are looking for a quick fix solution to the crisis or to remove it completely. So the organizations take time to listen, to reduce that anxiety, and they use a very intentional listening session to talk, to help this client to navigate the crisis of an unplanned message. So they send a message to clients out there in the world of, you can do this and we can help you do this. And so that's the heart of Pregnancy Help Network and all the centers that belong to our network.
You're talking about the heart and you are touching our hearts. So thank you for that. I'm curious, how do you go about starting new centers and strengthening the existing ones?
Well, so very often we Pregnancy Help Network themselves don't start centers, but we are very intentional in cultivating a landscape of inviting and catalyzing the start of pregnancy centers. So often it will be churches that feel like they have a lot of outreach programs and they're seeing the problem that is existing in South Africa. And so they would like to add that aspect of the outreach that they do. I have just recently been in Fishhoek in Cape Town, where that is exactly the case. Then you might have some individuals who have their own story of maybe an unplanned pregnancy for themselves or in their families, or you just have individuals or groups who see the need in their communities and they want to start something. So we are the only really, I don't want to say network of this kind in South Africa, but of focused in totally and exclusively on pregnancy help. And so we walk a road with those wanting to start. We have startup training. We have training on the various aspects of pregnancy help to strengthen centers' services and tools and to support leaders with prayer and consulting and to provide resources that they will need to do their job on a daily basis. We also have an annual conference where we come together and we learn, we share, we pray, we worship together. Annually we do that.
Yeah, that is so special. Danièle, we are in the special position that you are also one of our Brightstar facilitators. And I'm curious to know the role that Brightstar plays in all of what you are doing, and how does that maybe impact your leaders, your staff, and your clients?
Well, personally, I have to speak for myself first of all. I came across Brightstar through a facilitator who felt that the Lord had told him to come to the pregnancy help organization that I was leading at the time. And when he shared with me about Brightstar, I loved it. I loved the sound of it so much that I attended his Brightstar training and immediately knew I wanted to become a facilitator. And at the time, I wasn't leading the network, but I just realized how what a great product it was. And when I look back now, I realized that it was given to me, or I came across it for the role that I'm in now, because I just want to say, so many of our programs are focused on equipping leaders to reach clients, to help clients, to make a difference to clients, but very few, in fact, none of our programs were there for the leaders themselves. And so I realized that this was the missing piece of the puzzle, Brightstar was. And here we have now a program that we can help the leaders themselves to get to know themselves better, to get to know their teams better. So we roll it out to the leaders at least once a year. And it just fills the tank for leaders, enabling them to be more effective leaders in their pregnancy help organizations. And then I just want to say as well, Legacy Dad, another of falls in the Brightstar toolbox, is also aimed at teaching young men what it takes to take responsibility and to become intentionally involved fathers. And again, I want to say, when I was leading a pregnancy center, I knew that we had to reach the dads, but we just didn't have a tool, a simple tool that, number one, we could attract volunteers to the pregnancy help organizations, male volunteers, and also to attract the dads to the pregnancy help organization. There weren't any programs for the dads themselves. So the role Brightstar has played has been incredible for my personal journey, as well as the journey of Pregnancy Help Network.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Danièle. We know that this was not for a marketing moment. I know.
No, it wasn't. And she didn't ask me to say that to everybody either.
That is so special, because we enjoy your passion so much, and we're so glad that it's a tool that can help. So I do need to ask you, would you share, is there good news stories, and is there one or two that, without compromising confidentiality, is there one or two that you would like to share with us?
You know, I would. Obviously, I can tell you as many good news stories. I can also tell you heartbreaking stories. But, you know, when good news stories come across my desk, we just have a moment of celebration, because this is the difference that we're seeking to make. So many young leaders, one young leader herself, who now leads a pregnancy help organization, was a client of a pregnancy center. And she now leads a community pregnancy help center. And how is that for a good news story? She herself had a teenage pregnancy. She was a client at the center, and now she has been called, I guess, or has the passion to want to lead a center herself. So that's where I'm going to start. But then we have stories of moms who literally had nowhere to turn, honestly believing that the only way out was to get rid of her baby in any way. And now they are parenting. They're returning to school. They're loving their babies, their children, and they send photos and they send these good news stories of saying things like, without you, I couldn't have done it. And then we have stories of moms who see the image of their baby on an ultrasound screen, and what before might have just been a problem, she would have viewed it as a problem that needed to be resolved. Upon seeing that image, it just creates an attachment to the child that is literally, she falls in love with that baby. We have story after story of that happening. And then she's determined to do what it takes to be a parent. And then we have guys who have gone through, just recently, I saw a video of a guy who had gone through the Legacy Dad program and who it's just completely changed his perspective on being a father. Before, he would have thought what it took to be a good dad was to send his baby mama a bit of money every month. And now he's saying, I can't believe I have this role. And I just love it, Amanda. I mean, I can't give you specific stories, but I just love it when I see these miracles happening, you know, people's perspectives changing. And they realize that what was a crisis, what started as a crisis, ends up being their story that they want to tell. And that, honestly, for all of us in this work, those are the highlights of our times as leaders.
You. Danièle, I want to add one more question, and that is your life purpose. How does it connect with what you are doing every day? Because we see your passion, we see that you come alive when you talk about your work. How are you living your purpose in your work, and how's that connection? Just for an interesting last question.
Absolutely, Amanda. I always knew, years and years ago, we did an exercise at our church where our pastor challenged us for a week. And this was pre-Brightstar. He challenged us for a week to make notes, a 2-week period, to make notes of when we felt most alive during that 2-week period. And at the time, I was facilitating an HIV training. And I remember highlighting that and thinking, wow, I'm most alive when I'm teaching HIV. But when I realized that actually that wasn't it, I felt most alive when I was helping people to go from this step to that step and deepening their understanding of whatever it was that I was facilitating. So when it came to doing Brightstar and actually capturing my life purpose, which I had never done before, my life purpose became to equip and empower others to realize what they can and will be able to do. So the equipping was so, it just stood out. It jumped out of the page for me, the equipping and empowering. And I guess that's what I do with most of my day. It's not always training. Sometimes it's just a conversation, a consulting conversation with another leader. And it doesn't even start as a consulting conversation. It just starts as a, how are you? And before we know it, we're in that zone of, I guess, coaching. And so honestly, yeah, I live out my life purpose. I'm fortunate to live out my life purpose every day in the job I do. But I know that when this is over, I'll still be doing it because I just love that process.
Yeah, those are amazing words to end our conversation this morning. Thank you, Danièle, and thank you for the hope that you bring and for the difference that you are making. We really appreciate you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today. You can visit us at www.brightstarlifestyle.co.za. Keep on shining.